USCJ? It's your boy Jakeem. Really appreciate what you're doing for USC culture, man. Keep going.
What's going on? Shout out USCJ, man. Appreciate the support. Shout out to USCJ. You know what it is. Nothing but love, man.
Trojan Felly, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, happy Wednesday to everybody. Listen, the USC continues to move and groove on the recruiting front. I want to talk about that as well as some of the things that USC coach Lincoln Riley had to say in the press conference in reference to some of the guys that we're actually going to be missing. With this Notre Dame game coming up, this is a massive game on so many fronts. And for those who didn't hear the video yesterday evening, I talked about some of the Notre Dame game and some of the things that we got coming up this evening, this afternoon, rather, 2:30 Eastern, 2:30 West Coast time, 5:30 Eastern. Jaywalk and B. Shaw will be coming to join the channel. Both of those guys, they played in different eras. Jaywalk played on the national championship team with USC, and so he has experience with Notre Dame. And then B. Shaw played just last year, the past 3 years, versus Notre Dame. So both of those guys will be on. And look, we will have a live, and we will be taking calls this afternoon in reference to the Notre Dame game. So you look for that. But when we talk about the Notre Dame game, man, one of the things that Coach Lincoln Riley had to say in reference to Notre Dame, some of the guys that's going to be out, if you guys hadn't seen it, the video yesterday, I talked about Harry Dalton making his return back, and that is some phenomenal news. However, on the flip side, Coach Lincoln Riley did say that we will be out with a big-time, a heavy hitter, man, one that I call a super freshman, and that is none other than Floyd Boucard, man. It looks like he may be out, 2 to 3 weeks, according to Lincoln Riley. That is a significant development, in my opinion, based on the fact that Floyd Boucard is a game changer, man. Him and Jakeem Stewart, who I labeled as a super freshman, they've been coming in really balling. Let's just keep it 100. Jakeem Stewart continues to get in the backfield and continues to move and groove. But Floyd Boucard, you guys know, making big-time plays all over the field, being that he is that super freshman, and he's a big body, 300-pounder, and I think he caught a lot of people by surprise, the fact that how he's moving and grooving and how effective he is on his defensive line. So I guess, it's going to be the next man up mentality, and you guys know who's been balling, man. You got Jady Abasari, who's a second-year guy, true sophomore. You got multiple guys, and if we look at the production versus Michigan, and you guys remember, we held Michigan under 110 yards, 109 yards to be exact. And I think these guys were getting a push. These guys were swarming to the ball. Guys like Cam Crawford, they were containing the edge. They did a phenomenal job, but we're going to have to keep it cranked up. We're going to have to crank this up all the way up because we're getting the Notre Dame team, and we're going to talk about it this afternoon. We're getting a Notre Dame team that's probably, from a running standpoint, just effective as a team like Michigan. That running back, Love, is an incredible running back. He's super durable. They have another running back too, but Love is that one. And then the quarterback. The quarterback can absolutely sling the ball. And so we're going to need all hands on deck, but then we're going to need our secondary to really take it up another notch this week. This is going to be a game. And so you guys know I mentioned those who hadn't watched the video about Harry Dalton. We possibly might have some weather that we have to deal with. So, but when you look at the guys that we have from the D-line that have production, Devin Tompkins, his name is not getting mentioned a whole lot. But look, Devin Tompkins balled out last week versus Michigan, had 4 tackles, 4 solo, and he had those 2 sacks, man. So salute to Devin Tompkins. We're going to need him to really crank it up as well and continue to move and groove how he is. And then Anthony Lucas, he had 4 sacks on the D-line, 3 solo. Cam Crawford had 4 tackles. Did I say 4 sacks for Anthony Lucas? I meant 4 tackles. 4 tackles for Anthony Lucas, 3 solo. Cam Crawford had 4 tackles, 2 solo. And then you had Jady Abasari. He had 2 tackles and 2 solo. And then you had Keyshawn Silver, 1 tackle, 1 solo. and then Jakeem Stewart, 1 tackle and 1 solo, and then Braylon Shelby, 1 tackle. The one name that I didn't see on here was Josh Jarrett. I'm not sure what's going on with him. I don't think he's hurt at all. So hopefully we get an opportunity to see him because, all hands going to need to be on deck from a defensive standpoint. So, look, you guys can drop the comments, man. You guys can tell me what you think, but that is the news. That's the latest news in reference to our defensive line. So, look, salute to Floyd Bukar. We wish him, to get healthy very, very quickly. And this is that time of the year, man. These injuries are really starting to mount up, man, from all fronts. And one of the things that I heard Coach Lincoln Riley said in reference to, like, the guys that are out from the offensive line, from all aspects of the field, the question was posed to Lincoln Riley yesterday, if guys like Elijah Page come back, if guys, all the guys that are injured, do they have to compete for a spot? And Coach Lincoln Riley said, absolutely. And here's the thing. When you got guys running like King Miller, that's running for 158 yards, and then when you got guys that are playing phenomenal ball right now, like Tobias Raymond, Justin, Michael Benuelas, and he even asked about the center, Keelan O'Connor, and you got guys like Reed. This past game, who went against a defense that was supposed to be 6th in the country in stopping the run. The question is, do you disrupt that? I mean, I'm kind of echoing the same thing that Lincoln Riley's saying, and I'm not saying that you do or you don't. I'm just saying that right now, the offensive line, the way they're playing, Michael Benuelas as well, to go with that, playing the guard spot, I think he's doing a phenomenal job. So the question is, do those guys, once they're healthy, when they come back, do they automatically get a go? That's the question. And Lincoln Riley answered it and said, at this point, everybody's competing for a spot. I agree with him because right now, I think the way he's looking at it is you don't want to disrupt this chemistry. So, look, you guys who drop the comments, man, you guys can tell me what you think. But USC is going to maintain this focus. I think this is one of the biggest games that we got to get past this game. We got to try to get this W out. And the question was posed to me. You guys can hit me in the comments. You guys can tell me what you think. The question was posed to me, if USC loses this game, will they still have an opportunity to make it to the playoffs? And I said, absolutely. Number one being that this is a non-conference game. Don't forget, Notre Dame has two losses right now. The fact that this is a non-conference game, USC absolutely has a chance to still make it, even to the Big Ten championship. But for the record-wise, because you guys know how it is, man, it's like they give us little wiggle room. It's like we can't afford to lose. That's why I argue that being in the top 25 was extremely important. But a lot of people say, oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah, well, it does matter. Now, yes, the CFP is going to vote, but I just think they kind of did us an injustice by ranking us so low. And I know that the CFP is going to come by. They're going to officially rank all the teams, according to how they see it. But I just don't like the fact the AP and the coaches poll, they see it totally different from how it actually is. And you got multiple teams. You got teams that still have 2 losses in the top 15, top 10, if you will. And here we are at top 20. However, I think we need to go out there and handle business, and we need to handle it convincingly. I'm not even saying convincingly. We can get out of there with 1 point. I don't care. And seriously, I don't care if we get out of Notre Dame with a ½ point win. I just want the W because I think it's a good look, and going to a place like Notre Dame and USC gets the W. So you guys can hit me in the comments. You guys can tell me what you think. I want to move on to, real quick, some recruiting news. USC continues to still move and groove on the recruiting front. Right now, and I gave you guys this yesterday. Let me pull it up real quick. I gave you guys this video yesterday that USC had a crystal ball from, well, I talked about it. Jaden Crowder, he's a big-time cornerback. He's out of Santa Margarita, and now he's crystal ball. Steve Wolfong from Rivals/On3 has now projected and predicted that USC is now going to get him. Also, another big-time projection in crystal ball came in for USC with another big-time safety by the name of Khalil Terry. Khalil Terry is a safety in the 2027 class. And look, man, the 2027 class is getting ready to heat up. Khalil Terry's number 246 overall in the country nationally, so he's a top 300 player. He's the number 27 safety in the country, and he's the number 23 player in the state of California. So USC continues to move and groove on that front, and we told you that this momentum from the Michigan game, we told you that there's going to be guys that came to look at Michigan, came to visit Michigan, and USC was going to catch some of their interest. Of course, you guys know the players that came to look at USC. USC's already in the mix for them anyway, but I think it just swayed their attention that much more. So you guys can drop the comments, man. You guys can tell me what you think. One more news and note item that I have for you guys, and that is this. You guys remember for the longest time, Jaden Mayava was getting no love for the Heisman odds. Well, lo and behold, he's all in the Heisman odds mix right now. So let's look at this real quick. This is after week 7. This is the Heisman odds. Carson Beck, he is plus 350. That's the Miami quarterback who transferred from Georgia. Ty Simpson, plus 350. He's the Alabama quarterback. Fernando Mendoza, Indiana quarterback, plus 500. Jeremiah Smith, wide receiver. You know what's so crazy about this? Let me stop for a minute. Okay, they got Jeremiah Smith on here, and do you not know that he has 40 receptions right now? I don't want to quote the wrong. Let me see if I got it, because I think I still may have it in my phone, because I actually screenshotted this because I was trying to tell some. Oh, here it is right here. Jeremiah Smith, and I'm going to finish going through these Heisman odds. Jeremiah Smith has 40 receptions, 505 yards, 7 TDs with a 12.6 average. You want to know what Makai Lemon has right now? Makai Lemon has 44 receptions, 682 yards, 6 TDs with a 15.5 average. And he's not even on this Heisman list. Go make that make sense. That's unbelievable. So anyway, let me get back to this Heisman list. Unbelievable. Heisman odds here. So Jeremiah Smith with a plus 1,400, and he's not even leading Makai Lemon. Unbelievable. Julian Sand, Ohio State, plus 1,500. Dante Moore, plus 1,700. Trinidad Chambliss, plus 2,000. He's from Ole Miss. Marcel Reed, plus 2,000. Jaden Mayava, plus 2,200. And then Gunnar Stockton, plus 2,500 from Georgia. And then the last one is going to be Joey Aguilar, plus 3,000. And then CJ Carr, plus 3,000. So, look, man, you guys can hit me in the comments. You guys can tell me what you think. You guys already know where you can find me. Listen, don't forget, we will be live tonight. Live tonight. Well, excuse me, I keep saying tonight. Live at 2:30 p.m. West Coast, 5:30 East Coast. Hit me in the comments. You guys tell me what you think, and I will be live with B. Shaw and J. Walk. I'm out of here, man. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Fight on, fight on, fight on.